Royal Caribbean is on fire with these private destinations. I mean, as of today, they either already operate or will operate 6 different private destinations throughout the Caribbean, Mexico, and the South Pacific. 6! And just last week, they announced more cool stuff for the newest one that's going to be opening up in December. Lots of colors, lots of fun names, too. So let's talk about these destinations. There's Coco Cay, which has been open for years and is awesome, and they keep adding new features to it all the time. I just went on Star of the Seas a couple of weeks ago with Cindy, and we went to parts of the island that we had never seen before. I mean, and a lot of it's just free. And then there's the private destination they're opening in Nassau, directly across from the pier. And then they're going to open one in Mexico. They're going to open one in South Pacific, and then another as yet unnamed one in the South Pacific they're going to open. And then there's Labadee, which is closed right now, but we'll go back to that. So let's talk about Coco Cay a little bit. Coco Cay is the island that most people know best with Royal Caribbean because it gets the most press, and it's probably the most stopped at port of all of Royal Caribbean because so many ships stop there. Royal Caribbean has had the island since 1988 when they acquired Admiral Cruises, who had the lease to the island from the country of the Bahamas. So Royal made plans to renovate and finally got that underway with a huge renovation in 2019 where they had started adding new features. They were making plans to put in the dock and the pier, which didn't exist before that, and people had to be tendered over. As a matter of fact, if you stand on the green walkway bridge that goes, if you get off the pier and you walk towards the balloon and you take a left, as you walk over the water there and look down where there's some cement poured, that used to be where the tenders would stop and drop people off. So just a little history. So anyway, this is the island that is the most well known. It's got a lot of great stuff on it. I'd say 70 to 80% of everything there is free to use for the price of your cruise fare. And if you did buy a drinks package or the internet package, it works on the island too. This is what sets Royal Caribbean apart from all the other cruise lines, is that almost everything is included on this island. Now, there are upscale stuff that you can do. You can kind of bump up your experience in some of the private areas, but you don't have to. The ones that are free are perfectly fine. And since most of the food is free, it's a great day. It's a perfect day, I'd say. Anyway, so let's talk about the other island that's in the Caribbean that it's not an island, it's a private destination. But Royal Caribbean still has Labadee. Labadee is in northern Haiti and is a private area fenced off from the rest of the island, but it is not currently operational. They're not going to open it until I think after May of next year, only because the situation socially in Haiti is kind of questionable right now. And most people that are cruising Royal Caribbean had reached out to them. Not most, but many people that cruise Royal Caribbean had expressed concerns about stopping there. Now, nothing had happened up until now to anybody that stops at that cruise destination, but I think enough people were concerned that they weren't even going to get off the ship if it stopped there. Many people did. I don't think I would, but that doesn't mean that there's not measures in place to ensure safety of people. But I think that Royal Caribbean did the right thing by just not going there altogether, so that takes kind of any doubt away from anything happening at all. Now, Perfect Day Mexico resulted from Royal Caribbean working with the Mexican government and private owners of the Cozumel Island, which is just off the coast of Mexico, to take a lot of that property and develop it into Perfect Day Mexico. It looks awesome. There are renderings online of it. I'll put a little clip of the video up here. But there's virtual walkthroughs and flyovers, and it looks really cool. It's supposed to have the longest infinity pool, so that looks pretty cool. Those pools are pretty awesome. Plus, it'll have a swim-up bar, which is awesome. After Perfect Day Mexico, they're going to have, let's see, what is it? Have Lalepa? I think it's Lalepa. Is it Lalipa? I don't think it's Lalipa. Lalepa. Let's see how you pronounce it. How to pronounce Lalepa?
Lilliput.
Lalepa?
Lilliput.
Lalepa?
Lullaby.
Lelepa.
Lelepa.
Okay, that's it. It's Lelepa. It's not Lelepa. Anyway, Lelepa is a small island off the coast of a larger island of Efate, which is in the South Pacific, south of the Solomon Islands, southeast of the Solomon Islands. I had never heard of it before I looked up this private destination intention, but there it is. It's northeast of New Caledonia. East of Australia, yeah, it's probably 500 kilometers. 500 kilometers to the northeast coast of Australia. So it's out there in the middle of the big old ocean. And it looks pretty deep too. It's along a trench. That's interesting. So anyway, then after that, Royal Caribbean is going to open another destination in the South Pacific. And I think that Lelepa and this new one are catering to the Australian and New Zealand market and Asian cruisers, because there isn't as much for them to do over there, say, as there is for people that sail the Caribbean. So I think that's great. And, if I were to fly to a cruise destination or a cruise embarkation location, I think I would choose one of the Royal Caribbean cruises that sail out of Australia. Let's talk about the Royal Beach Club on Paradise Island in Nassau. It's not really an island, it's a peninsula that's right next to the dock when you dock in Nassau. You can see it from the ship. Most of the Royal Caribbean ships park right next to it, so you can just look over and you can see it. It's right there. But they had been developing this island for the last couple of years, since a hurricane came through and pretty much wiped everything off of it. I mean, it's sad, and there was a lot of people affected by that. But it kind of erased it, and there wasn't anything on it, and it was stark, and there was just some broken down structures over there. And aside from the lighthouse on the end of that point where you come in to the harbor, there was nothing there. And now they're continuing to develop this thing. We've been watching it since we sailed Mariner a couple of years ago, and we could tell that something was going on over there because they were clearing things out. But every time now we're back in Nassau again, we get a fresh look and seeing what they're doing. Well, it's a buzz with activity because they're opening in December. It's going to be awesome. They've got all kinds of stuff going on. It's going to have one of the longest swim-up bars in the Caribbean. It's going to have 3 separate neighborhoods. And they just announced the other day these boats. And put this up here above my head so you can see it. So the Royal Beach Club Paradise Island doesn't really have direct access to get over to it. You would have to get off the ship, get on the pier, walk over on land. And if you were going to walk, you got to walk kind of into town and then around the end of the peninsula and then to the connecting part that goes over. So you'd walk over towards where you can see Atlantis over on the mainland, or over on the edge of the mainland, and then come back up. Well, to get around all that logistics stuff and to prevent from having to take a bus ride or something, they have now this fleet of boats that they just announced. The Bahamas Transport Logistics Company, 100% Bahamian owned, specializing in marine transportation. They will own and operate the Royal Beach Club Paradise Island water ferry business. The partnership reflects the company's commitment to include Bahamians in all aspects of the project and ensures Royal Beach Club ferries are managed by experienced professionals. So they're going to have a bunch of them. They're going to have Flirty Flamingo, which is pink, the Sassy Starfish, which is blue, the Coral Calypso, which is orange, Twisted Turtle, which is green, and the Lucky Lizard, which is turquoise. The ferry's advanced navigation and propulsion systems enable quick turnaround times, ensure efficient and smooth guest transportation. The playful names and vibrant colors embody the lively, fun-filled spirit that guests can expect to experience with the Bahamas. Now, they don't say anything about any kind of cost associated with taking those ferries, and I'm sure they will be limited to Royal Caribbean guests if you're carrying a SeaPass card. So you can get off any Royal Caribbean ship and then take the ferry over to the island and have fun for the day. These look fun and exciting. I mean, Royal Caribbean's got this down when it comes to reading the mind of the cruiser and building that level of excitement on your way to the destination. So everything from getting on the ship when you first get on, bringing that experience with you through the first things you see when you come on board, to the experience of one of their private destinations. So everything about it screams, remember me, take a lot of pictures, have fun here, take home an experience more than anything else. And I think they hit the nail on the head with this one. This is right on. I really can't wait to try to get there. God, I wonder if we can pull that off. December cruise. That would be awesome. I don't know. We'll see. If anything, after the end of the year, we'll try it out. We might not be the first ones there, but we'll enjoy it. So what do you think of the whole Royal Caribbean Private Destinations effort? I mean, they're far beyond what any other cruise line is doing with this particular concept. Other cruise lines have them, but Royal Caribbean's got a lot, and they put a lot of effort and a lot of money into this. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing, and why? Let us know in the comments. And if you find this content helpful, please like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. It really helps out the channel. We're really trying to grow an audience here, and any help that you can provide is free. We appreciate it. Thanks.